You're watching UnrealEntGaming. This is Gohan from Dragon Ball Z. You want to see me turn Super Saiyan? Or should I take it to the next level? I'm also the narrator, too. Next time on Dragon Ball Z, make sure and smash subscribe to UnrealEntGaming.
Dragon Ball Heroes Big Bang Mission anime episode number 8 is now finally in the history books, with Vegito having to go all out against Few. But the better question going forward is, was the actual fight worth waiting for and having to finally see Vegito and Few go down? Or just like typical things from Super Dragon Ball Heroes, especially from the Big Bang Mission anime episode series, was this battle involving Vegito and Few absolute trash? As I do want to welcome you all to my Super Dragon Ball Heroes Big Bang Mission anime episode number 8 review, and right off the gate I'm gonna go off and say that this episode was definitely not as bad as anime episode number 7, but there were certain things in this episode that, of course, to me, I think made absolutely no sense. So if of course you guys are new, then be sure to smash that subscribe button, turn on all notifications, and give this video a big thumbs up by slapping that like button down below if you guys are simply just loving the idea of us getting more Dragon Ball content, because from the beginning of this episode, what I found interesting was we finally get to see what the Xeno characters were up to: Goku, Vegeta, and they seem to have been battling this whole time over out in a different location, Toa. And interestingly enough, Toa had Vegeta, had Trunks, had Pan, had Goku bound by some sort of dark energy, as she went on to explain to everyone about Cumber and how Few was basically using Cumber's energy to his advantage, and he was battling against Vegeta over out in a different location. So because of this, right off the gate, if you guys pay close attention, the art and the animation was a lot better in this episode than it was on the previous episode. So it's interesting because just like in the manga, Toa finally reveals that she wants Few to become the next Dark Demon King, and she goes on ahead to pull out from her pocket this little tiny dark hole-like energy sphere, to where it starts to take the powers of Vegeta, Pan, Trunks, Goku. So she wants all of this energy that comes from Frieza, Cell, Majin Buu, Deborah, Cooler, the Capsule Corp characters, Cumber. She wants everything to go on ahead and be transferred into one body, one vessel, that being Few. And we then go back to an interesting flashback of Mechikabura having to be sliced in half by God Trunks, which in turn everything is being put into one sphere for her to collect and ultimately make Few the next Dark Demon King of the Demon Realm. But not just that, to replace him as being the next quote-unquote Mechikabura. So the art was pretty nice, the animation was good, at least for the beginning, because as we got to see how Goku was desperately trying to break out of the energy-like bind that Toa had placed on him, Goku eventually does, right? Goku winds up breaking through, and as soon as he does, out of nowhere, Mira winds up showing up. He blasts Goku, Goku falls back, only for Mira to show Goku that he went along ahead to defeat Gohan, to defeat Trunks. So if you're someone that wants to power scale heroes, it's all over the place, right? And what's really baffling to me is the second we get to see how Mira makes his appearance and he ends up showing up with Toa, instead of finishing everyone off, they wind up leaving everyone basically there just to hang around. So that's always been dumb to me, because even if you have everyone else basically bound and they can't move, then why don't you go on ahead and finish them off, right? So as soon as Toa and Mira leave, everything around them begins to fall apart, sort of like the crack between time and space and self. And as soon as everyone winds up just going through this purple black hole, we then end up going back to Vegito Blue and Few. So Vegito Blue early on is smacking Few around. He's literally burping the dude, and the fight itself was really good, in a sense to where as soon as we got to see how Vegito punched Few, he was able to do several spins before breaking his fall. He was able to then even go as far as to demonstrate to Vegito the fruits of his power by powering up. And Vegito, what I would say, did a little bit of a better job in this specific fight here than he did against Cumber, because as soon as Few transformed, you see the expression on Vegito's face. He's not concerned, he's smirking. So that was done, I think, a little better, only because I was very vocal about this before. I never liked the idea or the prospect of someone like Vegito just defusing so early. So this fight with Few, honestly enough, was good. I would even say, based on the fluidity, based on the way they went back and forth, it was kind of like on the same caliber as it was with Vegito and Cumber, only because Vegito didn't defuse. He was actually able to so casually blitz through Few's attacks, which objectively, as they fought, I will say this fight flowed really good. So it's interesting because as soon as Few winds up shooting Vegito from point blank range, Vegito winds up shooting back Few, and then he proceeds to kick Few right above the head, which causes Few to kind of flip backwards onto the Universal Seed before Vegito then went along ahead to forcefully fire out a massive Kamehameha, which I was a little disappointed only because I was expecting for him to do the final Kamehameha, but even then Few was shown being able to be relative to Super Saiyan Blue Vegito, even though Vegito wasn't forced using Kaioken, he wasn't forced in using Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, so Few barely kept up because towards the end, as soon as he ended up eating the Kamehameha, he went along to tell Vegito that this really isn't the full extent of his power, that there is more to it, and there's a reason why he wants to have this massive universal tree do what it does, because there's going to be a benefit that's going to come from all the power collected, and that's when the universal tree then begins to glow bright, and Few seems to be having an orgasm only because he knows exactly what's about to happen, but Vegito doesn't. So as soon as Few then gets to see how he's about to go crazy because all of the power, all of this energy that seems to be embedded within the tree then starts to sprout, and we also get to observe how Few from there remembers all of the places that he's been through, and he remembers all of the things that he had done to get to this point, but then something seems to happen within the tree itself, and the tree winds up dying. Now, how does the tree die? Well, courtesy of the gods of destruction, Vados, Champa, Beerus, Whis, they all gather around to use the Super Dragon Balls in summoning Super Shenron to reverse the wish of the massive universal tree. So, honestly speaking, that seems like such a waste of time because they have built up this position that this universal tree was going to be something that's going to create a new universe. We were going to see something different from it, but the gods of destruction and the angels put an end to it. So that was just so out of the blue, only because we could have seen more from it, but it led to absolutely nothing, which I can't speak for anybody when it comes down to that, only because I was expecting something more from, the birth of a new universe, or at least something coming from that. But just to see Vegito fight Few was, I guess, alright. I guess to see and hear about references of Cumber's power being used, that was pretty cool too. The gods of destruction and the angels using the Super Dragon Balls to reverse everything Few had done. You can only imagine how pissed off Few is when looking at his body of work just being thrown away now. So we know that Jump Festa is right around the corner, so they are going to follow through in giving us more information on possibly the next series beyond what we have now for Super Dragon Ball Heroes Big Bang Mission. But the question is, how is it going to end off? And more importantly, will it be rushed? Because I don't want to see a rushed product. This episode, to me, was better than the previous two. Episode 7 was garbage. There was really not much from this episode that you can look at objectively and say, oh my god, this was great. Oh my god, this was a relatively decent episode. I still feel as if the Prison Planet stuff, the Universal Seed / Universal Conflict arc was the betterment of what we got from Super Dragon Ball Heroes, but I want to get your thoughts in the comment section below if you guys agree, if you guys disagree. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for your time. I hope you guys enjoyed. Tune back in for more. Let's just see how this ends. It's probably going to end around December, and when it does, only from there are we going to see what they have going on next. So, thank you all so much for your time, and I'll catch you all in the next one, guys. Take it easy. Peace.
This is the Galactic Emperor of the Universe, and of course I'm here to tell you to subscribe to UnrealEntGaming.
Also follow UnrealEntGaming on these social media platforms to stay connected at all times. And if you don't, then very soon you will all be dead! Oh, did someone say UnrealEntGaming? Oh my god.
fuck, Zarbon? Put on some clothes!
Well, why don't you put on any clothes?
What? I don't need clothes. Jesus Christ, that's huge! What, Broly?
Frieza,
Prepare to die!
UnrealEntGaming, but once you get video, lots of likes, or Bill will turn you into chocolate!
Vados, get over here! Tell these mortals that I'm the biggest UnrealEntGaming fan. This is my moment. I'm a part of his notification squad. Universe 7 can have all the fun. I just want the food.
And don't forget to leave a comment on this video. Show some love for the best community on YouTube.
Kakarot!